You know, obviously there's a tale of two halves right there, and I mean, it doesn't take an astute observer to realize Nigel was not having a very good game, offensively speaking. I think he was 0 for 9 at half. Look at that, 2 for 16. That's something he don't want to talk about, I'm sure. But and yet, I thought our defense the second half was outstanding, and it gave us points. And that's a very hard thing to sell to young men, 18 to 22. If you'll play really good defense, you'll score more points. They can't figure that out. That when you cause turnovers, many of them in for layups, but it gives you more offensive possessions. And, so I was very, as frustrated as I was with, Eric and Alonzo Saturday night. Tonight they had a good game tonight. They did a good job. I want to say they had 23 points and 15 rebounds. We got that every night. Instead of 13 and 9, we'd probably be something like 17 and 5, 16 and 6, somewhere around that. So our big man played well tonight. I thought Shelby Adams did an outstanding job defending Ertl, particularly in the second half. Isaiah Small had a nice game, Mason had a good second half, played well in the second half, but again, we need him to score points, and he hasn't been scoring points for the last, 2-3 games. And I don't know what's going on, but he needs to pick it up. And then Marlon Davis gave us a nice lift also. I think I pretty much covered, the people I thought that were very instrumental in us winning this game. But probably, the biggest story is, as far as personnel, is our two big men came to play today, gave us a very good points and rebound production, and then Shelby Adams I thought did a very nice job. Ertl had 14 at half, 4 in the second half, and Shelby was on him quite a bit. So I'll take any questions if you have it.
Coach, obviously you said Nigel didn't have a great game, but I think he did all the little things defensively, and then passing the ball he did really well and showed a lot of heart. Did you see that towards the end of this game when he really started going for loose balls and doing the
Well, he hustled. I mean, he was pressing too hard, but he hustled. There's no doubt. He just didn't shoot the ball well. That's all we're saying. He didn't have a great game offensively. So, but the other parts of the game, I would like to see 5 rebounds is nice, for him. See, what I tell my bigs, the centers, you got to get a rebound every 4 minutes you play. The power forwards, I say you got to get a rebound every 5 minutes you play. And then small forwards, you got to get a rebound every 6 minutes you play. So if you look at somebody, they score, like if Nigel had 36 minutes, so I would tell him you got one less than you should have. That's how we do things. That's the goals I set for him.
Coach, you had the really rough half offensively. Were you getting the looks that you wanted, or was it more you were just missing shots?
I think in some cases you're right. It's right. What you said is true in some cases. I thought Nigel was pressing it a little bit first half, but I mean, golly, that's the guy we want to shoot the ball most of the time. But he just didn't feel like he had it tonight. He did show some great leadership at halftime. He apologized for his performance, and said that he would play better the second half. And so, anyway. But the team defense and our centers and Shelby were the winners tonight. The team defense, Alonzo and Eric, and then Shelby's defense on Ertl were the key factors tonight.
You guys only had 6 points in the first half, points in the paint in the first half, and then 18 in the second. What kind of changed that opened things up inside?
I just think that we really pressured them on defense and got them out of their comfort zone. And I mean, I tell you, when you really defend and call some turnovers, they had 13, and we only had 5, and it just kind of messes them up to where they're not staying on game plan. And so I just think our defense rattled them. Really, 21 points by ULM and a half is I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. And I told the players you really weren't doing a bad job in the first half defensively, 30, but we offensively we just looked bad. I think at one time we had 6 or 8 points in 13 minutes with 7 13 or 15 ago, I looked up and I said, we scored 8 points in almost 13 minutes. Golly, I'm surprised some people didn't ask for their money back, you know. So that was not pretty. Yeah.
Coach, you guys did really well crashing the glass tonight. Can you explain kind of what went into that? Did you guys work on that in practice? Was that something?
You don't work on rebounding. You just emphasize it. You yell some. You get after them. You make them feel like, you know, you ain't doing your job if you don't rebound, you know. And so, you know, we just really emphasize it when we but we have not been a great rebounding team this year. If you analyze the statistics, in some areas we're better than last year's team, but the one area we're really deficient in, as far as comparing, you know, as far as where we rank, and our rebounding is ranked near the lowest in the league. And you know, some of that's I send my guards back when we shoot the ball to stop their break. So 3, 4, 5 man. That's Nigel. The starters: Nigel, Isaiah, Eric, and then you throw Zoe, Quentin Scott. Sometimes Shelby plays the 3. That's their job, to get offensive rebounds. And you know, we had 7 offensive rebounds Saturday night. We have 15 tonight. And of those 7, 2 were dead ball rebounds, meaning that they just kind of went out of bounds and we got the ball back. We really only grabbed 5. And that's the story of the game Saturday night, in my opinion.
And Coach, as you look out into the crowd tonight, it seemed pretty rowdy. What were your opinions on the crowd?
I love it when those students come and sit in that end zone. I just love it. And you know, students are doing a great job. I'm really proud of our students and the energy they're helping us. They're generating energy in our players. You know, I wish more townspeople would come, because I think the students are doing a pretty good job right now. You know, so I know there's a lot of things in this area, entertainment-wise, but you know, it's like I told the players, if you play like that, there'll be more and more and more all the time. So.
As you mentioned, Shelby Adams held Michael Ertl to 4 points in the second half. Was that something? Did you want Adams to guard Ertl, or did that just?
I know that was the assignment. Guard Ertl. Shelby is not known to be a great offensive player. He did have a nice night tonight with 12, and it's one of his better games. So, you know, I've talked to Shelby many times. If you would be a great defender, you'll get a lot of minutes, you know. And you know, and tonight he did a nice job. So Ertl had 14 at half. That's a very nice half. So
around the 8-minute mark, we saw Isaiah Small getting his legs stretched out, came out the game. You know,
Cramps.
Just cramps?
Cramps.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all that was, is a leg cramp. And it was amazing. He went up and shot a layup, and then he came down, and all of a sudden it cramped up on him. So that's what concerned me, because, wow, you're running, you're not complaining, all of a sudden, boom, now it's hurting. So I was worried something was wrong, but they just said it was cramps. So.
Coach, as you move on to the next game, you look at this game, what are some of the key takeaways you're going to have and try to do better as you go around for the next game?
Well, first of all, I'm going to congratulate the guys on their rebounding. Secondly, I'm going to, you know, I just don't, one of the things in the first half, I thought we shot the ball. We weren't patient enough, and we shot some bad shots. You know, so let's show a little patience if we don't get a good look quick. But, you know, really just tell them, we play defense like that, fellas. You're going to win a lot of games. It's plain and simple. And, you know, let's take Clemson football. You know, I like football. I wouldn't play it, but I like it to watch it. And Clemson, who's been very good as of the last 5, 7 years, they're one of the best defenses in the country, year in and year out. Alabama's the same way. You know, offenses on our team. A lot of offenses predicated on Nigel. How's he playing that day? What's wrong? You know, did his girlfriend and him have a fight? You know, you don't know those things. You know, ask yourself that if you're ever having surgery. Boy, I hope the doctor didn't have a bad night last night. You know, things like that. So that's what offense is about. You put your quarterback, point guard. You know, all it takes is a key player not to play well, offensively speaking. And I mean, you don't score a lot of points, but that's a skill set: shooting, passing, whatever. But I don't think it just takes effort and communication to play defense. And so we're going to continue to preach that and hope that we can win, have some more games like we did the second half tonight.
And Coach, obviously the bench had a tremendous night. They scored 36 points off the bench, and you only had 6 points. Are you hoping as you move forward that the bench like that will continue?
Well, we hope we did, because Saturday night the bench did not have a good night. Sometimes it's our fault. We don't play the bench enough. Sometimes it's our fault. But a big reason for that is Sule had 15 and Shelby had 12, 2 players. So that's 27 out of 36. So
You kind of had the slow first half offensively. Nigel wasn't really working. What is kind of the team reaction when you see Nigel's not off to a great start?
We just gotta, it happens. Sometimes players get into slumps. We just gotta keep the same intensity, keep the same focus, and things are gonna work out. So.
Yeah, he knew it too as a leader. I feel like he did a good job of talking to us at halftime, knowing he was in a slump, telling us just stick together, and it was all going to work out at the end. So that's what we did.
What do you feel like were the biggest changes between the first and second half? I know, you only had 6 points in the paint first half, 18 in the second. How did you guys get it to open up inside?
Yeah, we really just started to pound it inside and try to, play inside and out, I feel like we picked up the energy second half and the intensity. So
yeah, energy for sure was a big change for the second half for us.
Shelby, you were guarding Michael Earl tonight. How difficult of a challenge was that?
Michael Earl, he's a good player for sure. It was pretty big challenge for me, but I'm always ready for that.
Tell me about the backdoor cut that Nigel hit you on.
I seen Nigel coming, dribbling towards his left. With a good first step, and I seen Michael Earl kind of in the lane, so I was like, let me see if I get a backdoor cut, see if I could get it open. And Nigel, being a good passer like he is, he made the pass, and it was my job just to finish.
Alonzo, Shelby had a career high 12 tonight. How important was he for you guys?
Very, very important. I feel like Shell works hard, in practice and by himself. So just to see his hard work paying off is really is happy. I'm happy for him.
You two provided really valuable points coming off, and just in key moments, you guys were really key. What was just some of the things that you guys were able to be so successful when Nigel wasn't stepping up, but you guys were able to come and pick up the slack a little bit and able to pick up the scoring pace?
Just believing in ourselves, talking to each other. I guess I missed a couple of shots. You good, Shell? You good, Shell? You know what I'm saying? Zoe probably missed a couple of shots. You good, Zoe? Just keep shooting. We just talk to each other, believing in ourselves.
Yeah, we believe in every player on our team. So just us picking each other up, saying we got this, really brought the energy back. I feel like.
And even though Nigel didn't shoot well, he did a lot of little things, passing the ball, rebounding, hustled, and even though he wasn't playing well and you guys see what he was doing, how important do you think that was for this team as well?
Very important. He's a good player, so he's gonna do things like that, and I feel like doing those little things when you have an off night really shows how great of a player he is.
Alonzo, you had team high 15 points tonight. How are you feeling out there?
Feeling good.
Shelby, your assignments are usually defensive, and you came in to guard Michael Earl, but the offense kind of opened up for you a little bit. Can you talk about that?
Coach always preached about how defense could help us win games, so I knew what my state of mind was, just coming in and trying to lock down Earl as best as I can, and I knew the offense was going to come eventually, as long as I just kept cutting and moving without the ball.
And Coach was talking about the crowd tonight, really energetic. Did you guys feel the energy on the court from the crowd tonight?
For sure.
For sure felt the energy. It's good to have people there supporting you when you're playing, so that was good. Mm-hmm.